Okay, this meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required by law. Certain portions of it may be closed to the public for the purpose of personnel and/or other matters, as outlined in the Sunshine Law. Decisions made and/or discussed in closed session will be made known to the public at a later date. All contracts awarded by mayor and council must comply with the affirmative action requirements of PL 1975, C-127, and JAC 1727. Fire exits are located in the direction I am indicating. In case of fire, you will be notified by me via the public address system. Not really. If you are alerted for fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit, or as directed by me over the non-existent public address system. All right. Let's go to order.
Councilman DeSantis, how are you, sir?
Councilman.
Here.
Councilman Kelly is working. Councilman El Morassi.
Here.
Councilman Miola.
Here.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Shepardson.
Here.
Mayor Hopkinson.
Yo.
6 present.
All right. Randy, you want to kick us off?
All right, we're here to continue our capital discussions. Tonight, first up, we have the library. If you turn in your packets to page 1. The library has submitted an actual 6-year capital plan.
What?
I was the first to get it in on time,
You can't
right?
follow directions, we wanted 5. You trying to confuse us?
So,
I'm in a revolution.
I'm going to read off originally what was handed in, and now it looks like there's a revision for tonight.
Well, it's only by like a couple of...
2015, a new computer timing system, 10,000. 15 new computers, 7,000. 2 children's specialty computers, 3,000. 4 new printers, 2,000. New furniture for the meeting room and adult public areas, 10,000. Silent alarm reinstallation, 1,000. 2016, new environmentally sound windows, window installation, total of 35,000. 2017, new carpet throughout the building, new theater system. The carpeting is listed as 30,000 and the theater system is 10,000 for a total of 40. 2018, there is a room divider for the children's room for 2,000. New computers were needed, 10,000. New printers were needed, 2,000. New technology were needed, 10,000. New shelving in the children's room, 10,000. 2019, new bathrooms listed as 30,000. And 2020, library drop box for media and books, 5,000.
Can I ask a question? Why are we getting computers in 2015 and we're getting computers again? I mean, isn't there a 5-year life expectancy? 5-year spec? What's the word I'm looking for?
5-year use.
Thank you.
Well,
I mean, I'm just saying, I mean,
That's why we're here to discuss things.
computers
Susan
that
and
far
Pat
out
from the
go out of
library.
date?
What's that?
I mean, will they go that far out of date, or programs, or?
look,
6 months.
no, do you want an answer?
Well, I'm just saying, because if you're getting the 15 computers now, and 3 years later, we're getting more.
Because they start breaking down, you know how they're constantly used. I just put that, it
Oh.
doesn't mean it's like, we're definitely gonna get all those,
Oh,
we
okay.
need them, but I wanted to put them in as a contingency, just in case. Because our computers now are like limping along because we haven't had new computers in a long time. 3 years is a long time for
Well-
computers to be used constantly.
I'm not, as you know, I'm
And
still
they
trying
get
to.
cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
Well, yeah, but what I'm trying to sit back and say is computers that we need, or can we get these thingamajiggers that pull apart and,
Wireless?
I don't know, what
about like
do they call them? iPads,
Well, but if we could get iPads, but.
I'm just saying, I mean, you're looking what, for the big monitor and, what are we doing, laptops? Are we talking
We're
desktops?
talking desktops.
Are we talking the Apple thing here that you can,
No,
no.
you got one already? Give everybody an Apple iWatch.
No, I'm just saying, I mean, the way things are going today, I mean, I you know,
Sure.
I'm still trying to figure out what a widget is.
What
other municipality that use the advanced technologies because, things that change really quick and pursue something like that, and we have to look into the future, of the library, of our library basically, what the future
Well, I
will
think
be.
virtually every
So that way we don't
other
have to change
library has
equipment again.
desktop-style computers. I don't think anyone, I mean, you might lend out things like Kindles and so, but I think otherwise, for in the library, I don't think I've ever been to a library that didn't have desktops. Am I
It's mostly
correct?
because
Well,
the
all-
laptops walk.
Well, that's what I would, yeah, they'd have to be, the laptops would have to be attached by cable or something.
And that's expensive also, but
Yeah.
I have looked at Chromebooks, and they're a little bit less expensive, but
How
we
come I
need
don't see any
real,
Legos in here?
because we have plenty of Legos.
Now, what exactly is a computer timing system?
Okay. I think I've mentioned this like quite a few times at my trustee meeting. We used to have a timing system, us and like everybody else in the library world, with Peter. Peter, I forget what his last name is. In fact, the lawyer sent him letters and everything. Well, anyway, he's AWOL, and now our timing system is kind of shaky and kind of on the edge. But a timing system keeps people from printing without telling us first how many pages. We get to release the printing system, so it saves paper. And also, we can keep people on the computer for 30 minutes or an hour instead of people being on the computer all day long. We don't have to sign in anymore. Every library has a timing system. It's very important. And plus, if people are doing, maybe something inappropriate, you can always get them off the system by your having controls at the front desk.
So that's basically what it is, it's a control.
It's a
controller
control
at the front desk.
for all the computers, it turns them off at the end of the night, it gets rid of all the information that has been on there all day, and then it rejuvenates it for the next day.
Okay, now what's the difference between the computers and children's? What's the specialty? What's a specialty computer?
Well, I have that, if some of you have the pictures.
Oh, that's, okay. Now, there's only three. They came to the meeting with only three.
Well, because we're saving our money, we can't print out a lot of prints.
Why are you printing in color?
I want you to see what it looks like in color.
Oh, okay.
And plus, you can't see how bad the rug is and how bad the furniture is in black
Oh,
and
so
white.
this is the specialty computer?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And this is, this has iPads on it, and I think it's kind of cool for the kids' room.
No internet access.
No internet, just games. And actually, the company that you buy this from, for $10 a month, they monitor everything that goes on in the computer.
What brand?
It's I didn't look it up. No, Crayon Kiosk. Right, a read-in books.
What brand?
And I went to a couple of libraries, I didn't go, actually my husband went, to take pictures of the libraries and talk, and visit. There were a couple of libraries in New Jersey, like about 10, and everybody loves them. So I think that would be nice for the children's room.
Any particular brand of computer you have your eye on?
We were thinking of getting Chromebooks and just attaching them to the tables. We already have the table, we just need the computers. Or we'll just get regular tablets.
Why I ask is because maybe you can get like a contract where it'd be like, you don't actually own them, they swap them out as.
Well, we could, but we're part of a consortium, the consortium has to put all their stuff on it. You know, and computers are so inexpensive now, you can get them refurbished. We've gotten refurbished computers for our library instead of spending a lot of money for like $200. But so far, it's still okay.
With these computers, is there any, you already have the programs? I mean,
So that's a lot of computers though.
so what I'm trying to say is the new computers, just, you already have the programs to install or?
Yes,
whatever?
well, we have a consortium, and
Okay,
they come
I'm
and
just,
install everything,
you know.
yes. They do everything.
So in other words, then you can take them out of the box and hook them right up and
They
everything's
will
ready
do
to go?
that for us.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because they have to put it onto their system.
All right, I didn't know if we had to, do it the Microsoft, or,
Well, they take
a legal
care of,
thing.
If we
yeah,
had to
they
pay
take
money
care of
to do it.
everything.
$7,000.
That's what we're paying our consortium for, to help us out like that.
The windows for 16.
Well, the windows, if you look at this, all the windows in the front of the building do not open. I think if we have new windows, it would be more energy efficient, that we could open the windows if it's a nice day, instead of using the air conditioning. The windows in the back of the newer part of the building all open. I mean, not great, but they open. But the ones in the front don't open at all.
Try
Would they,
Yes, but they fall apart. If you open them, the things fall off, the windows, and some of the windows actually don't open at all. I mean, it's been there for a long time. Those windows have been in there since the beginning of the building. I don't remember that was.
they're the older women with crack windows. They're rusted.
The carpet is threadbare.
Yeah,
We've been patching up parts of it. The bathrooms, you saw the bathrooms.
I'm
They
surprised
really
you
need help.
I'm surprised you want to put them off to 19.
Well, I was gonna put them earlier, but I think that would
I would just think you would want to do the bathrooms before the carpeting,
be, okay.
because demolition-wise of breaking down a bathroom and getting that stuff out, 'cause
This is all,
you don't
yeah, I
want it to
mean,
ruin a
that's
brand new
fine.
road, so.
That's fine.
Right.
Bathrooms, windows, and carpet.
That's expensive. Well, I was just trying to break down the cost, so it didn't seem like $100,000 in 1 year.
Yeah, that would be.
No, I didn't mean all in 1 year.
No, but I mean, even the bathrooms are gonna be pricey.
So you
So you have it listed as 30,000.
Yeah, well, I think we could do it. We could just shape up a little, like new tile and maybe in the bathrooms downstairs. And DPW said they're gonna come and fix the hole in the ceiling that we've had there for a while.
So we're gonna change 16 and 19, switch them around?
No, you're gonna move 17 to 19. Or actually, you should probably move 18 to 19,
Yes, 19.
17 to 18,
Yeah.
And 19.
16 to 17, and 19 to 16.
Correct.
Okay, so the windows are 17, bathrooms 16.
No, the windows, no, the bathrooms are 16 and the windows are 17. Right.
That's the, put them in order.
And then the carpet's 18, the theater system.
It's been 3 years with
Okay.
the closet, though. It's gonna
He's vacuuming the hell out of it. It just-
Oh.
be-
Oh, but listen to this. He said he's buying a HEPA vacuum.
Yeah, it was a nice conversation.
Otherwise, if you want to double something up, you're
It
adding,
was a
Yeah.
you
conversation.
know what I mean, we're trying to strike a
I know, no, I understand that, I'm just saying, I know what the carpet is.
But if that's the worst thing, that should
Yeah.
replace the
Well, and
rest.
we know that it's coming.
It's gonna get really
Yeah.
ruined with everything.
I'm like,
Yeah, no, you're right, no, it would
Where's
get
this
ruined
epic
with
filter?
the other work we've done. I agree.
So it's the only one that complaining. And I said to him, no, it's other people. I think 2015 is pretty solid. Those are things we really need.
What's the deal on the silent alarm?
Well, that's the thing we put under the desk in case we have a problem. That what do they call, panic button?
It's a panic button.
Yeah, panic button.
Like the bank uses it.
It's like- Yeah, like the bank.
Like the bank uses it.
Right, and it would go right to the police department and to Triad.
It works now, right?
No, we don't
Don't
have
work?
that now.
You don't have one in
You
the
have
house
one.
still.
We had one that was like from the year
Probably
1800,
around.
and it doesn't work. We tried it with the police.
Couldn't get the horse-drawn carriage down the street.
So now, when we're talking about 15 new computers, are we talking about
Up and down.
replacing or adding?
replace them. We have no place to put them yet. And we wouldn't do this, right, like whole 15 at once. But 2 already are dead and.
Would we might possibly be able to get a better deal if we did do 15 at once?
Most of the computer stuff now
Probably
is
our
state
tech soup.
contracts. So whether you buy one or buy 100,
So we can have that and then do.
Yeah, but I heard you can get around that though, if you can come up with a better price.
State contract.
There's something called, what is it called, open source?
Tech
No.
soup.
TechSoup.
Yeah, we've talked about TechSoup. I'd have to see if it would work for us.
Yeah, just to,
A lot of
just
them are
throwing out an idea of,
refurbished.
if there is some place that would give us a break for buying quantity.
They weren't that much cheaper though, that we looked
as long as
at.
it falls in the realms of the
How about if you
local public
multiply by
contracts.
15?
Joe, go in my office, grab a chair.
I've just been sitting down all day.
Are there any other questions for the library?
Well, this drop-off box.
Where are you located?
Throw something at you.
I hope this is not tape.
It is.
It's been a long day.
Box.
We do,
Had a few
but you
meetings.
see what it looks like? I'm just saying that in 5 years, it's gonna have lived its life. It's 10 years old as it is now. So I think in 5 years, that drop-off box we're gonna need a new one. And they're kind of pricey. What I'd like to do is put it more towards the parking lot, the new one. We'll get a new one. And maybe we'll get a donation in this, in this 5-year span, and we'll be able to buy it and take it off the list. So, you never know what could happen.
Somebody
We just got
might-
$500 from the high school.
Yes,
That was great.
All right, just, we'll let you know, just like we told everybody else, this is the last night of our first go-around with all the issues, all the capital. So we will be having another meeting after this to fine-tune everything. The 5-year plan is a 5-year plan that we're trying to get rolling and started for planning in the borough. Doesn't mean it's set in stone. So just so you are aware of that, we've told all the departments that. But we will definitely let you know, and I believe we're hoping to have the ordinance introduced in June. So with that, depending if it's June or July, because July and August we only have one meeting, hopefully by August you'll be able to start ordering stuff. Whatever is.
Yay.
Sharpen your pencil.
We will let you know, and if
Yeah.
they need you to come back, we will let you know that also. Okay?
So we're done?
You're
No
done.
other questions?
You're
Wow.
very good.
Any Legos?
Painless.
Any Legos?
Thank you.
Inspecting the rack.
I was expecting that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
We all love
Thank
the
you,
library.
thank you. Thank you.
Yes, okay. I will take it. Yeah.
All right. Next up, if you go to page 3.
No!
I think my coat is somewhere.
Oh.
Page 3 begins our roads.
Nothing else to do.
So basically, we had the engineer and the superintendent, assistant superintendent. We gave them the list of streets from last year in the order they were. They reviewed due to the winter we had, the situation of the streets, so they are listed in order. The top 2, Colfax Avenue, that's phase 2. That's going from Pine Street to Locust Street. That's a DOT grant that we have $190,000, which is included in the $325,000. Seaton Avenue, we have the CDBG grant for $175,000. It's going from Route 28 to Fayette Avenue. The $175 is included in the $225. Madison Avenue, from Sherman Avenue towards Pershing Avenue, $45,000. We have the same situation that wound up on East Clay Avenue with the disintegration of the pavement due to the weather. So that we have to repair. Charles Street, from Chestnut Street to Walnut Street. That is looking to be done. We had some money appropriated from last year. We borrowed some of that money for some of the projects that we did last year because they were grouped together. So we need to appropriate an additional $180,000. I don't have the exact terminology on it, but I believe there was some additional drainage issues that have come up over there, and that's why more is needed. Large Street from West Colfax Avenue to West Lincoln Avenue was moved out to 2016. Camden Street is new on the list, from Route 28 to East Grand Avenue. That's for $310,000. We're looking at, there's a possibility we might be able to get a DOT grant for Camden, so we're going to see how that plays out.
Why?
Why what? Why a grant?
Yeah, why do you think you can get one just for Camden?
Well, the engineer's going to double check the certain locations. It has to be for DOT or CDBG area. So it's, CDBG is the Community Development Block Grant. And DOT is the Department of Transportation. Prospect Street from East Roselle Avenue to Roselle Park border for $200,000. Pine Street from West Colfax Avenue to West Roselle Avenue, $170,000. Sheridan Avenue from East Westfield Avenue to Dead End, $125,000. Sherman Avenue from East Colfax Avenue to East Lincoln Avenue is $170,000. And Hemlock Street from East Clay Avenue to East Grand Avenue, $145,000. The Chestnut Street
Wait a
cross.
minute.
What?
Hemlock Street from East Clay to East Grand?
Yes.
I got 170 on my paper.
No, it's
Give them a roll
145.
down.
Want a ruler?
That's above.
Hemlock Street. Right? I got Hemlock Street.
Means Clay to East Grand is
I got
145.
170.
145.
What's that say right there?
You're at an angle.
That's on, you're on an angle. That's one above it.
Oh. Oh, 1919. Hopefully I'll be alive by then. I've only been asking for 7 years.
2019.
2019, yeah, I may be alive, I may not be. If you do, you sprinkle some blacktop on my grave, just to let me know that it was done.
Maybe we'll mix you into the asphalt.
Thank you, thank you.
That's only if you get burned.
Huh?
Ashes.
Well, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll get cremated and I'll sprinkle my ashes in with the blacktop.
They can mix it in while you're.
That's what I'm trying to figure.
You probably get a pothole in that area.
Wow, 2019.
Just trying to lighten it up.
Oh, yeah, only 7 years.
Chestnut Street, the crosswalk replacements. Unfortunately, we tried to do a project from previous administrations to
Make it look nice.
make it look nice. Unfortunately,
Didn't work
it looked nice for
A while.
a little while, but
Now,
it's become a issue that has to be taken care of. So that's $55,000 to replace all of them. Source study for Galloping Hill Road. That is a project that came about,
That's the new project?
yes. The our storm sewer runs into Elizabeth. Elizabeth has a combined sewer system, sanitary and storm sewer. The DEP is now cracking down on those towns, and they are only allowing X amount of overage discharge. With that now, when we were working, that's why our I&I study is 100% complete. We thought we had found theirs into ours. It turns out ours is going into theirs, and it's a 42-inch main. that we need to, unfortunately, do a study to find out where we can relocate that and dump it off where it's not going into sanitary.
This is
So
just,
it's gonna be a big project.
this is, if you heard me earlier in the year when I took over as mayor, I said we've got two major projects to do in this borough, and this is one of them. We're looking at possibly $3 to $5 million. And the problem is, we don't know where it's gonna go. So that's why we have to do the study.
And it can't be ignored because
The
Elizabeth,
DEP might be coming down and hitting us with about $100,000 fine. So, it's been overlooked for a good many years, and now with everything going, because the city of Elizabeth is getting flooded out in that area, and it's just one big mess. So,
and it's not a study that's gonna be done overnight, it's gonna take time, so.
it takes time,
But we need
42-inch
to-
main, and we have nowhere to hook it up to. Because if you're going south by Galloping Hill Road, where are we gonna hook it up to? So we're gonna have to possibly make a deal with either Elizabeth or somebody to hook it up to somewhere. So we're talking a major, major project. Major. So, that was one of my comments beginning of the year, when you heard me say two major projects. Between the DPW building and the sewer line. As you know, Grand Avenue was $2 million, and it took us, what, 3 years to get the money for that. So hopefully, we'll see what happens. But we can't do nothing until we know what the study shows. So the study is mandatory. We gotta get it done. Have to get it done. So, sorry, Ken.
That's okay. We have improvements to the sewer system, $150,000 in the 5-year plan for 2017. That is borough-wide to ensure any issues that pop up immediately, we don't have to do emergencies, and they have to be fixed immediately when it comes to that. So we've done that the last several years, put in money, use it lasts us a few years. God willing, it lasts us more than a few years. That money would just carry. We have improvements to the Aldine Park, Phase 4, listed as 175. Union County Kids Recreation Trust Fund grant is just under $60,000 for that. Then we have parking lots listed down here for the 5-year plan. The Chestnut parking lot for 2019 for $450,000. Gazebo lot on Chestnut for $155,000 in 2018. I'm going backwards, I apologize. OEM parking lot on the west side of Borough Hall, which is obviously the OEM where the garages are, is $175,000. And the front of the Borough Hall and the police department for $200,000. Total 5-year plan is $3,605,000. Basically, everything listed in 15, and that's how we kind of designed the 5-year plan out. Obviously, Colfax and Seton have to be done, it's grant monies. If you don't do it, you lose the grant, so we might as well, they need to get done, so we're getting help, so we might as well do it. Madison has to be done. Charles Street, like I said, we had that started from last year. We didn't continue it because the gas company did. Some of that work that's continuing all the way down. The crosswalks have to get done. The store study has to get done. And the park is another grant that has to get done all in this year. So we're looking at 2015 is $1,205,000. And you have $190,000, $175,000, and $59,952.50 in grants. So you're looking at $780,000, $47.50.
What is the dead end down Sheridan Avenue?
South Sheridan Avenue, where La Cantina is. From Westfield Avenue to the railroad tracks.
So you're going from Westfield Avenue all the way to,
The railroad
Back there,
tracks.
yeah.
and that's
All sorts of
$170,000?
I mean, there's just basically no road there now.
Unless you have drainage.
We got drainage problems.
So that's the street side of it. If you go to sheet 4, this is just some other areas. We have our continuation, our archiving program with the clerk's office, 5,000. We have the continuation of our COA obligation for the affordable housing from the lawsuit. We have years 4 and 5, so that's getting close to the end for appropriating money for that. So that's 200 each year. Computer equipment for all departments. We're putting in 20,000 for each year. That is to help protect if we have any issues with servers that go down, that need to be replaced immediately. They're anywhere from 12 to 15,000, so we need to have something set up in that respect. And then on sheet 6, we discussed buildings and grounds before. The mayor had brought to the attention to get defibrillators in the various borough buildings. So we're looking to get 5, the Borough Hall, the police side of Borough Hall, the Saddle Center, the library, and Public Works. So
What's that?
appropriating 10,000 for that.
Where's that, where are they going again?
Borough Hall,
Right.
police,
Saddle Center.
Saddle Center, library, and Public Works.
Yes.
The library would go by the steps. So this way, if you're downstairs, you run up and grab it, if you're there, you get it, because we're only gonna buy 2.
That's great.
Not, we don't, we put it by the steps. This way, the whole building's covered.
So putting that all together in a nutshell. Based on everybody's first request in, we're talking about 2015 of $2,327,400. I'm sorry I didn't run off copies of all this yet. Just came off the presses. We're paying down in debt this year, $1,420,000. So if we take out the $2,327,400 and take out the $424,952.50 in grants, you're looking at $1,902,000. Out of that, you have the mandatory 5% down payment, which we have to come up with in cash, which comes from our capital improvement fund monies. So you're looking at roughly $1.8 million in debt to be issued based on the current scenario. My advice is to definitely try and get it under the $1,420,000. You don't want to be adding debt. You want to at least be breaking even, but if not, trying to pay down. When we met with everybody the first time around, we did have some changes, and unfortunately the number went up and not down. So with the revisions, you're looking at $2,359,850, taking out the grants, and I will get all this to you. You're looking at $1,935,000. So you're looking at $1,835,000 now after you take out the capital improvement fund money. So basically, you want to cut at least $415,000 just to break even on current debt. looking at it overall, your public works, and we're just talking about 2015 right now, okay? The request that was put in was for one vehicle, which was the roll-off truck with the containers, is $210,000. So your choices there are either no truck, or there's nothing to cut in that area.
The truck when we discussed was the best was gonna save us money, because we don't have to pay that in the roll-offs.
Right.
We can get away from that, and plus we can use it more often. We don't have to call it a roll-offs for snow removals and so forth and so on. So I think that's gonna save us money in the long run.
The first aid squad.
Again, I'm only one person, speak up.
Right.
Speak up. You're all.
Well, we're gonna have set up the next meeting, so you
Okay.
can think about this. I'm just running it through your minds.
Gonna give me a copy of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. The first aid squad is for radios for $6,500. Just so everybody remembers, when we did meet with them, they had a couple of issues that were of immediate need. I told them to please come and see me the next day. I had a visit from them. I told them to get me the requisitions. It was a problem with the exhaust system, the mats, and one
Can you
other
do me a
thing.
favor?
And I will let you know, I still have not received
Can
any
you do me a favor?
requisitions.
Would you please do me a favor, as my chain of command, would you please send Councilman Kelly, he is the liaison, and say if this is what was done on this day, I'm still waiting, either, or, please,
I will do that.
send it to the, and if they don't respond back to Councilman Kelly, then we'll bring it up in the public safety meeting. So, and what more? I mean, we're here to, they came to us and we're saying, like, give me the requisition tomorrow.
Right.
So,
The police department is at $45,000. We adjusted, we are doing on a trial basis this year. We got rid of the central meters in the capital plan and dropped that down to $45,000 from $121,000. We have the OEM is at $75,000. That is for the storage facility. Your fire department is another one that went up, because they requested another chief's vehicle. Their request for 2015 is $475,350. Buildings and grounds is at $85,000. Engineering was the $1,205,000. Libraries at $33,000. And other is at $225,000, and that's how we come up with the total of the $2,359,850. So, the biggest area, besides the engineering, which we have grant monies there, and obviously infrastructure needs that we don't have a choice on for this year, is your fire department area. I know we said we were trying to set up a solid 5-year plan with them. That area is going to be one that has to be looked at. Well, all of them have to be looked at, obviously. But those are your big numbers. So I will forward you all copies of this. And when we reconvene, when we set up our next meeting, we have to hammer this out and come to decisions and finalize it.
sharpen our pencils, folks. Yeah. We're gonna sharpen our pencils. And I mean, I like to give everybody everything, but we just can't. We can't.
Right.
So, you know,
Spend money you don't have.
So your goal is at least 415,000. That's my recommendation to you. Obviously, you guys set the policy, you can change that. Obviously, make it more, make it less.
We can look at the most important things that tends to be done, and then we go from there, in each department, and we can narrow down and cut down, And everybody, like you say, we can, not just at the fire department, we gotta look at it.
Yeah, you have to look at every department. You have to
Every
look at
department,
everything.
basically, and just sharp our pencil, like the mayor saying, and then we'll go from there.
It may be a time for us to look at bigger pictures.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, looking at your thing, you said about computers, if we buy one of them, we buy 20. I mean, you know, maybe we, I don't know, I say we shop around, I mean, you know, 5,000 here,
No,
whatever.
absolutely, but, you know, maybe we also have to look at things in a bigger, more long-term light and see, you know, it's hard decisions and nobody's gonna like,
You're never gonna make everybody happy.
but
Really?
we can't put, really? We
Trust me, I know.
can't put a bigger burden on the taxpayers in this town, we just can't do it.
You can't ask him.
So, we got some major decisions to do, folks.
Yeah.
Between our next meeting, you know? And I'm trying to show good faith to the EPA.
Okay, well, anyone else have any questions, anything else to discuss?
Pretty blunt, yeah.
Councilman Templeton, you got any, throw out anything outside the box, inside the box?
Just taking it all in my first.
Okay, that's
budget.
understandable.
I was just saying,
Eugene?
this is pretty cut and dry.
Okay.
Things-
Gina?
Yeah, I'm good.
Joey? I said my piece. All right.
Okay.
Okay, are we ready for
Open?
the open public session? Yeah, you do it. You're used to
I
it.
make a motion, we go into public portion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Please come forward if you would like to ask any
Hold on,
questions.
wait a second.
You're really not supposed to make motions, but you're still considered.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I make a motion, we go into public portion.
I forget sometimes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mayor? Mayor?
Oh, yeah.
Anyone who has anything to say? No? Speak your minds.
It's dead.
Shake on my chair, 612, come on.
Are we open for public portion?
1 second. We're setting up the tone room, I'm sorry, my phone is dead. Please go.
Jacob McGarrett, 612 Sheridan Avenue, Roselle Park. One suggestion, may you folks, when you're spending this money, taxpayers' money, make out it's your own money and improvise on your stuff here. The library, new bathrooms, 30,000 each bathroom,
2 bedrooms.
2 bathrooms, that's 15,000. So what is gonna happen here? Are they gonna change just the fixtures, the sink, the commode, and the towel dispenser, which should have been changed years ago, put it next to the sink instead of halfway across the roof, bathroom. And where did she get the prices from?
Pat, do you know that?
I do not.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
She did have documentation, I know when she came tonight.
She did have.
She had a big bag of her documentation with
So
her.
she has gotten estimates.
So she's gotten estimates on all the, proposed costs for everything,
Just
including the
roughly.
computers, the furniture. She had them with her, but I don't know exactly where that particular one came from.
That's a lot of money for bathrooms. On the streets, one in particular is Sheridan Avenue from East Westfield Avenue to the dead end. That's scheduled for 2018.
As of now, yes.
That's been on a list there for a number of years.
A lot of these streets have been on the list for a number of years. And sometimes we have to go by the priorities and the damages that were done the year before.
Mr. Mayor, that's the back of that street. The buildings there, when it rains, it floods. And it causes mosquitoes and this, and a lot of bad stuff. And for it to go on for so many years. Chestnut Street Horse Road, is that the pavers?
Yes,
That gonna be,
all the pavers are coming out.
when is the county going to do Chestnut Street? Because Chestnut Street is beat up.
County redoes their streets once every 12 years. And they did the county, they did Chestnut Street, I said about 5 years ago. 5, 6 years ago, whatever, I already inquired.
Sewer study for Galloping Hill Road, $200,000? What are they
Yes.
studying?
Where we're gonna take a 46, 42-inch main sewer, and where we're gonna have to go all the way up Galloping Hill Road, and where we're gonna put it. That's 21 feet below the ground.
Oh, it's gonna cost
The
$200,000?
For the
study.
study.
The study?
Yes, that's the study. The project estimate is right now is 3 to 5 million.
But they can't get somebody to go into the...
Jake,
sewer?
I am calling everybody I can to see what we can do. The state, the government, the county, the joint sewers that I'm on, and until we come up with the study to find out what we need and where it's gotta go, then I can start trying to get answers.
Okay, I buy that.
I'm sorry, I don't want to take away from the chair.
That's all right. You go right ahead.
That's all right. Any answer is good, is good.
Okay.
And he's, and the mayor has a lot of good answers coming out. OEM parking lot on west side of Borough Hall. That's on this side. You can't build an addition to the building that's back there.
Now, we're looking at, what was it?
It's just to pave the lot.
Paved a lot.
Paving.
Pave this lot and the drainage in this lot.
Pay it. How much is it gonna cost to pay the other one?
Front one says 200,000.
Oh, this is 175,000.
Yes.
Are we gonna put parking meters in there and charge for parking?
No.
That building, that cost us $1 million in eminent domain, plus we lost the ratables over there, and not one damn penny came back in ratables.
That wasn't in 1989, was it?
Excuse me? No,
No,
wasn't
in
it?
1989.
No. That was several years back, maybe 8 years ago. And we're not gonna sell the firehouses.
We're not?
You don't know yet.
Never say never.
Never say never.
Everything is up for consideration this year.
After we fix up everything, the streets, the library, the bathrooms, etc., are you gonna sell Roselle Park?
I don't know, do you have a buyer?
Oh, probably somebody.
If we had a buyer, I might think
Probably
about it.
somebody from China.
I'll show to you.
It would be hard to move.
By China. I know.
Well, Jake,
They have
whoever buys it,
They
I'm
have
still
money.
staying.
They want-
Whoever buys it, I'm still staying.
There you go. I'm gonna
Okay?
stay too.
I'm not taking my businesses and running with it. I'm not
There's a
worried about it.
guy on
Whoever
60
buys it,
Sheridan
I'm
Avenue
staying.
wants to buy it.
Okay.
Because, and even when I die, I'll be part of the asphalt on Hemlock Street. Or you can stick me with the cement with the Belgian block.
Now, isn't Hemlock Street concrete?
Yep. It's one of the few concrete streets left in the borough.
Yeah. So what are you going to do? Put concrete?
9, 8,
No,
Pave it?
pave over, yeah.
6.
All the streets are that way. All the streets at one time were concrete.
Oh, thank you very much. Your time is up.
Saul Kirsten, 150 Berwyn Street. Just going through this list, regarding the computer timing systems and all these new computers, I mean, it looks like throughout this list by itself, there's multiple uses for computers. Perhaps maybe asking a computer auditor to come in, which might be for a minimal cost, or at least whatever cost to go through the entire borough's computer system to give you a certified result to say this is what's needed, this is what's not needed, this would be the best use. Because
Such a thing? Is there
yeah,
such
you
a
can
thing?
have an auditor, a computer auditor. Yeah.
I'm just
They
trying
just
to
come
figure
in
out what a
and do-
widget is, so.
And also, I'm just asking, when these numbers are put in here, not only for this, but for all of them, are they supposed to be kind of like realistic, and for lack of a better word, a realistic quote? Because a lot of this looks very inflated. I mean, $30,000 for bathrooms. Has anyone been called, like a contractor, to say what would the quote be?
Well, we were told that there were, or at least I was told that there were estimates gotten on all
Could-
of these, but.
Could those be?
Obviously, when it comes to that, I'm
Before we
sorry.
come, before we get down.
When it
down
comes to that
approvals,
time of year, you
we'll
know,
look at-
prices could increase, decrease. It would be looked at a little more solidly.
And that's another thing, I guess, are these, okay, so that's for the library. And then we have the roads. Are these amounts through the years adjusted for inflation, or are they just as of today's?
No, I believe they are adjusted through inflation, for inflation. But they can change drastically also. We've learned that over the last few
Yeah.
years doing our own,
Hey, different functions.
so.
All of a sudden, asphalt went up, was like phenomenal one year.
Okay. For the sewer study, is someone, in other words, who will be doing the sewer study? Will that be going out for bid?
Be the engineer.
Engineering firm's gonna be doing it for $200,000?
Well, it's not just the study, there's meters that gotta be put in the line, so we can calculate how much flow is coming out of Roselle Park. So if they do try, the DEP does try and find Elizabeth, they're gonna try and pass the buck to us. And we wanna know exactly how much is coming from us.
Can we have that study go out for bid, for perhaps a lower? I'm just asking.
That's up to mayor and council, it's a professional service, so.
And then, I guess at some point, what is the outlook for implementing the results of that study?
The bottom line is, we gotta take that 42-inch main and find out where and how we can run it to drain that stormwater.
So that will become another capital expense.
Very, very,
And it will impact
a much larger
16,
capital.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Drastic. I don't,
It
Drastically
depends how
changed.
long it takes this to come
from my
through, when
understanding,
it'll
it's gonna
start
take a
hitting
while
us,
just
but
to
it's
do the
gonna-
study.
But it will eventually hit us very hard.
All right. And I know it's been asked before, and in the scheme of things, it's not that, well, it is a lot. But from Sheridan to have that street vacated again, a couple of years ago that was asked, and at that point, one of the owners was not agreeable to it, so it
Right.
didn't happen. But maybe now's another time to ask
You
again.
can ask.
Right?
Yeah.
For the clerk's records, it's $5,000 per year, but I thought this was done last year, right?
We've done it the last several years. We're still working on all the minutes, and hopefully we can get into the financial documents and things of that nature.
But at some point, shouldn't that cost gradually go down? Because we've only been in existence
Oh,
for
it's
100
including archiving the items, so it's not just,
And has that amount been spent, was that amount spent last year?
not all of it.
What
It's a
about the
carrying-
previous
It's a
years?
carrying process.
What about in other words, is the average been 5,000 or has the average been less? Because you said it's been more for multiple
It
years.
varies on their availability of when they can do,
Okay.
right, Donna?
Yes.
So some years we're able to get a little more in, some years it's a little less, but
And then again,
that money doesn't go away, it stays there, so.
at some point, you should be pretty much caught up and should just be archiving a small portion. I presume this is archiving everything.
We've only been on the minutes.
We've only been doing minutes, resolutions, and.
Did this go out for bid?
It's through the county, doing it through the project with the county.
Again, that'd be another maybe cost savings. Again, with the computer equipment, find like the computer auditor to maybe just a forensic auditor to just go and see the lifespan of all the computers. I was noticing in the library's capital budget for the past 5 years, it's always zero.
They never requested anything. in the last
Is it they never requested anything, or they kept taking money out of the operating budget? Because I recall her saying that at a meeting that, because when the councilwoman said, you know, really, this should never be coming out of capital, the library director said, well, that's the way we vote. I mean, out of operating budget. The director said, well, that's the way we've been doing it. So that could
I can't
impact.
speak for the library.
Right, and I wish she was
Separate
here. But, right, and maybe that could also adjust whatever's given to the library. If they're not spending that amount on capital items anymore and putting it correctly in.
Well, that was part of the way how we got their budget cut down this year, because
Right.
the request was
Correct, it included,
0.69% more than last year's request.
and it included
And then
capital
capital
items.
stuff, so
Right.
that's where we pulled things out to say this
Just
is
something-
capital,
To
so.
look forward to the future. Page 6 with the trees, just asking why it's not 10, 10, 10, 10, and just every other year 20. Because as it stands, no trees were done last year. No trees were done this year.
No, they're gonna be done this year. Trees are going in this year.
It says 20,000 for 16. It says 0 for 15.
Well, we have money, we have the existing money that we have set aside that we didn't use yet.
Okay.
Oh, there will be trees planted this
Do you know how
year.
much that is?
I believe it's 20,000
Oh.
plus, so.
All right.
And the ones that we have existing requests for are being done
Okay.
this spring.
All right.
So those are definite.
I'm at the Sano. Oh, to be continued.
That was a short 7 minutes.
It was. His was really.
Keith Hyman, 300 East Westfield Avenue. Obviously, Roselle Park. I'm coming up, pretty much, I'm not new to like the library issue. In 2009, I graduated in July, and there was a senior project we had to do. We had to do a real life transformation for like an organization, and the library was one of my projects. And like, this is nothing new to me. Like when I inquired, like as far as the computers, and at the time they didn't even have a timing system. That was in 2009. And like, what I feel is like this is a lot of money, and my issue is like, is the consortium. We're paying money into this consortium, and they're saying that we have to buy all this, and then all of a sudden we're stuck with a $10,000 timing system that I don't even know if it's a license fee, or if it's per life of the computer, or anything of that sort. We're just buying like, and also like, if we have like each department requesting something, like the clerk's office got new computers at one time, Ken's office, for example, got new computers at one time, and it seems like we're dealing with it at like a haphazard way, because like it should be the whole town. So I know when I worked with a company that had like a school system up north, and what they do is they buy every 3 years, but they buy for the whole school system, and they buy from like, for example, HP, and they get a discount because they buy so many computers. So it looks like we're buying 15 here, 15 there, and it's just costing us more money. And like, for example, the library, one of the things we looked into was this organization called TechSoup. And it's a non-profit organization where it helps like libraries and any non-profit. All you have to do is sign up for it. I already kind of inquired about it, and they have off-lease computers, like decent, like quad-core, the whole deal. I won't go in technology. Widgets are a big thing now.
Okay, right.
But for $250, right, you get a 17-inch monitor, you get a refurb business quality desktop, and you get Windows, and you get antivirus for that. And like,
So this might be something we need to
Some-
look into. and
look into.
consider if it's a cost saving.
and also we have a computer guy. Is he a break fix contract, or is this a maintenance contract.
I don't even know what a
Break fix contract means you call him up and you pay him for the time it costs to fix the item. If you do like a maintenance contract, which is like hypothetical, don't get scared, $20,000 a year. Maintenance contract means he'll go in, make sure everything's working.
What do we have on?
He goes in and does a maintenance,
And like how much, like are we
$75 an hour.
$75 an hour? Like, I don't know, I just think it needs to be reassessed, like we have a technology committee, which just does TV34, or whatever it does, it hasn't met yet.
We had gotten borough computers and we got them for the entire borough building here with the police department.
And it costs a lot more cheaper than going each department, I'm
Well,
assuming.
state contracts and national contracts, and like I said earlier, it's same price whether you buy one or 500, because it's the way the bid was designed to go out, and that's the pricing that is.
And then the one thing is the consortium, they said that they help. How much help do we get from them? And I don't know.
You're gonna have to go to a library board meeting and
Yeah.
direct those questions there, because
No, but
the governing body doesn't have those answers.
We just.
That's-
But I think it's
But
something
they're all-
to
yeah.
consider.
That it's a good idea though, let's see if we can address some of those
Absolutely.
questions.
Because I think even with the town, like take the library from out of the equation for now. Like for the town, like we get these new computers and then all of a sudden they don't work. Why don't they work? What's the inventory do we have in town? What can we recycle? Because like, for example, the clerk's database system, that's not something that sits on the computer hard drive itself. It's something that you log into, it's remote. You can have like any like not even a decent computer, just a computer that boots up and you can log into a database. You don't even need something that great, but like if something's broken where like the memory's broken in here, this is broken here, can we combine and
So
save
you're
the
saying that,
computer
for
or something?
instance, in the
that
library, we
existing.
might be able to combine some of these
Yeah.
and have need fewer new ones?
Yeah, because like for the library, I looked at the text sheet. You can get 10 Microsoft licenses for like a $45 administrative fee to the organization that administers it. Or you get antivirus for the whole year for the whole fleet
Well, I
of
think then
computers.
probably what we have to do is sit down with the library again and see what we get from the consortium, what other options there are, compare them and figure that out, but that's something we.
Because I think even look at the consortium, like, we paid them so much money, the Middlesex Consortium. I know there's other ones out there. Like, we have to really look back, because I think we're just, it's like just throwing
Yeah,
money.
I don't know if we need to have a library-specific consortium or what, but it's certain, no, but sure, it certainly is something we can look into.
Yeah, if I could make a suggestion, would you be willing to come to the next trustee meeting perhaps?
Yeah, definitely.
And
'cause-
actually, if you could sit down with Susan Calentone and I prior to that, yes, just so that we can get a listen. And our next meeting is May 20th, it's a Wednesday, and it's 7 o'clock in the library. So come to the public portion and
Yeah,
present
because I
your
think the
ideas.
three-year cycle for a library, I think that's very liberal as far as estimate, because like a public computer, all you do is Facebook, this, that. You're not really doing anything like, you're not,
You're not asking it to do anything demanding.
no. And I know, for example, Cranford, they went to Linux. I know and it's open source, you're not paying the Microsoft royalties. And it's like the market share, like there's not much viruses. You still would have to deal with antivirus and all that, but it's
Not
better.
serious a problem. All right, well, thank you.
So,
Thank you. And you'll come on the 20th for the trustee?
20th? Okay.
Please, I'll talk to you.
Okay, anyone else who would like to speak? Seeing no one, I move to close the public portion.
I make a motion, we close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Do we have anything to close?
I don't know if anybody else.
Ron?
Not me. Good.
You're done?
Well, we need to set up the next meeting. How does next Thursday, the 30th?
Well, I won't be here. That doesn't mean,
Well, I think we need to have you here to finalize
I'll be
capital.
back the 5th.
5th. Okay.
Yeah.
April 30th. That'd be a miracle. We can get money for that.
Yeah.
But I think you should be here.
All right, well, then let's see what the next possible dates.
Talking.
And my phone is dead, so I can't find it.
The 30th?
No 30s. Finance chair. 7 is the council meeting. 14th,
May 14th?
it's Thursday.
I'm good.
May 14th,
What time?
6:30.
6:30?
Yep, 30.
6:30. Everybody okay with that? May
Yep.
14th at 6:30.
That's something. Okay.
6:30 still, right?
Yes.
Call Kelly and tell him.
Do we adjourn?
I'll let him know, yes.
During the meeting?
Do we adjourn?
No, you need to.
Okay, well, somebody like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Favor?
All right. Thank you.
We are
everyone.
adjourned.